Coming soon to own on
YouTube
video
and
and
Twitch.
DVD.
Old Dog, the character that never changed in Menace to Society. Now, if you haven't watched Menace to Society, either you ain't black or you don't got no ball knowledge. This shit was one of I wouldn't say the best, but I fuck with it personally. I fuck with it. It was one of the best hood movies. You know, the shit was very funny. And it's like the ending is very sad, but that's all I can say. Let's get straight into it.
Is it a great performance, a theme or idea that sticks with you? A lot of people think a great character is defined by their change or arc in their story. But what happens when the change or progression is absent? What happens if it never existed at all? And what happens if it goes in a complete opposite direction?
He got that dead meat audio, the dead meat music in the background.
So before we start, we need to understand who Odog is. And to do
Old Dog was that nigga. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He didn't care about nothing. He was ready to throw away his life over the littlest things and constantly shooting niggas
do
down.
that, I think it's better to just show you a clip from the opening scene.
The fuck you say about my mama?
I don't want any trouble. Just get out.
You talking shit. Every time I come in this motherfucker, you got something to say.
Now, I'm sure based off that small introduction, Odog obviously seems as a very unhinged and violent person, and that's exactly what we're going to be examining
Very
in this
unhinged.
video, by diving into certain events and key moments in the movie that not only demonstrates Odog's brutal portrayal of violence, but really answers what happens when a character never changes. The first scene to talk about is the convenience store scene. From the start of the scene, we pick up on two of the main characters having a conversation, just talking about going to a party and trying to buy beer. Yet, as they begin to look in the fridge, one of the owners is
Following
secretly
them.
trying to get closer to them and keep an eye on them. And Odog immediately calls her out for it, as he knows that she thinks that they're trying to steal something. They then get their beers out of the fridge, yet Kane opens his and begins
Starts
drinking it
chugging
in
that
the store.
motherfucker.
And this is where things begin escalating, as now both the owners are staring and are beginning to build tension between themselves and Kane and Odog, with each group of people only getting more angry as the tension keeps building. Yet out of the two of them, Kane is able to remain calm, while Odog seems to be getting closer to the edge and seems to be falling into the bait of feeling disrespected. Through continuous dirty looks and glares from both the owners, they finally pay. Yet, on their way out, Odog asks for Kane's change back, with the owner giving it to them and then telling him that he doesn't want any trouble, but that they have to.
See, like, that was so unnecessary. Niggas was leaving, gang. Niggas paid for what they grabbed. Niggas paid for what they drunk. And niggas was just asking for their change back and we out the door. You didn't have to say all this slick shit under your breath. You could at least wait till a nigga walked out the door. It's like,
Get
bro,
out
come
now.
on.
And just when we think Odog and Kane have finally made it out of this unfair situation, the owner has to say,
I feel sorry for your mother.
now, this instantly escalates the situation, and it leads Odog to not only leave the store, but shoot both the owners, take the camera tape, and then also rob the store. And the fact that this scene opens the movie really sets the tone for not only what these two characters will represent, but
The type
demonstrates
of
the whole
movie.
violent nature of the whole film, easily allowing for the two main characters to be introduced. As first, we have Odog, which, as we've seen in this first interaction, we see what Odog ultimately represents, which is pure violence, craziness, and the will to always fight back on anything that comes in his way, no matter how irrational. The next and other main character of not only the scene, but the whole movie is Kane. And as we can see in this scene, he symbolizes a more civil, protective, and ambiguous character in opposed to Odog. Now, in this scene, there are a couple very important things to keep in mind here. One is the fact that before Odog shot anyone, he was pretty much in the right here. And you could
100%. 100%.
See how he was being treated unfairly, and not just that, but was willing to let the initial disrespect slide before the owner talked about his mother, which this almost gives him a sense of being a somewhat civil person. Yet, right when you think this, he pulls the trigger, brutally murders both owners, and it almost shows the audience exactly who O-Dog is, which is a violent, brutal killer who will stop at nothing to ensure his name has respect and envy. The next important thing in the scene is after O-Dog shoots the first owner, he not only commits multiple murders, but then commits a robbery. And this is possibly the most important thing here, as in such a short period of time, this has gone from just trying to buy beer to a multiple charge crime. And in that, we are able to see how this is not only normal for O-Dog, but right after he pulls the trigger, he is thriving and is almost acting out of routine rather than rationality. And we can also see how, in terms of who's more calm now, the roles have almost reversed, and
Yep.
O-Dog begins to seem like he is in his element, while Kane rationally begins to freak out, easily showing how one character, O-Dog, can turn a simple disagreement into possibly one of the most brutal scenes in the whole violent world that is this movie. The next crucial event to talk about that defines O-Dog is the tape scene. Now, this scene comes when O-Dog is at a
The tape scene was crazy because it's like, yeah, do niggas really commit crimes, get the videos of it from the news and throw that shit on the big screen like it's film? Like this is how like college, high school film? Like it's a crazy thought
party,
to think about.
and by this point, he's got the liquor store tape in his hands, the very tape that shows him murdering both owners, and he begins to show it off to two of his friends. Yet, as the graphic murder plays on the TV screen, something scary happens, as we see how O-Dog begins to take pride in it, and instead of hiding it or becoming haunted by it like
This nigga went to try to sell it. He's trying to sell this bitch. Like, come on, bro.
Kane, the rational one, tells him to do, O-Dog treats it like a trophy, parading it around while one friend laughs with approval and exception. Now, O-Dog taking full pride in his violent acts just in order to try to gain respect from others shows how truly immature he is,
Oh
but
yeah,
also shows
100%.
how, like many others, he's really becoming a product of his environment. Yet, instead of trying to
100%.
be cautious or avoid confrontation like Kane does, he fully embraces it. And this is exactly when another friend from the other room walks in with a shotgun, asking O-Dog if he's ready to kill more people. And this is really significant and symbolic as it's almost like O-Dog has gotten approval and has even graduated from just having a normal handgun to having a more outrageously dangerous weapon, allowing for
Hmm.
him to again fall deeper and deeper into this cycle of violence.
So yeah, I'll do the same thing, bro. I don't play that shit, nigga. I don't care if the gun is empty. I don't care if it's one in the chamber, nigga. Don't point that shit at me. I don't give a fuck.
Which then
I
leads
don't
us
play
to the
that shit.
final major event, which is the drive-by scene. So we pick up with a group of the cousins that Kane originally fought with and disrespected,
If you haven't seen the movie, this is probably the spoiler alerts, but
and they're all in a car with loaded guns, getting ready to commit a drive-by. However, we then see O-Dog is helping Kane, Anthony, and his mother move out. Yet, because we have just seen what we have, we know what's happening before it even does. And it's interesting here as we get a shot of Anthony on his bike, as all they do is leave him outside, not knowing what to expect. Yet, because we have seen the car as it barrels down the road, we wonder, are they really going to shoot a kid? And that's exactly where the violence peaks in this movie, as it has gone so far to the
so
point
fast.
where an innocent kid could die just for the sake of revenge. The bullets then ran out, and everyone except one person panics here, and that one person is O-Dog. And O-Dog not panicking or even flinching with his first instant
Instant reflex.
reaction being to shoot back allows for us to get a sense that he's not only gotten lost in the violence, but is unfazed by it. And we can then see this
Desensitized.
again as similar to the original convenience store scene, O-Dog seems to be the only person who is calm here. Even when he sees Kane get hit, he is devastated, but he's able to brush it off more than anyone else, as to him, this is just another day, because he has been so surrounded by this violence the whole movie. When it finally hits the people he loves, he almost is numb to having a reaction. And that's when we can also see how he was the only one not hit by any of these shots, because he not only has become immune to the violent world around him, but has, through his return of the violence, lost all hope and fully submitted, like the audience has, to a grim and very dark ending of this movie. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the video today.
Well, that was Old Dog, the character that never changes in Menace to Society. Menace to Society, if you haven't watched it, I think is one of the...
Let's go in the garden. You'll find something waiting right there where you left it, lying upside down. When you finally find it, you'll see how it's faded. The underside is lighter when you turn